coli in the water. Everyone living or working in that red shaded area of this map is under the advisory this morning. The crews hope to have it fixed by later this afternoon.
The search continues this morning for a missing Gastonia teen. Take a look. 17-year-old Emma Galindo was last seen a few days ago as she was leaving work at a Food Lion. If you know where she is, call Gastonia Police.
And Duke Energy wants to merge its two Carolina utilities into one. The company says it would save customers more than $1 billion through 2038. Right now, Duke says there won't be any immediate changes to rates or services.
This morning, we're seeing more congestion on our interstates, I-85 as well as I-77 south of Uptown. One of our newest accidents is in Northeast Charlotte. Right lane blocked Sugar Creek Road at Hidden Valley Road.
All right, this is what we've all been waiting for. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful for our Friday morning. What a nice way to start out the weekend. Another live shot coming in from our WCNC roof camera. It's going to be hot, though. Remember, temperatures back into the 90s today, feeling like we're into the upper 90s. So make sure you just stay close to our weather team. We'll be tracking a lot of things, including Tropical Storm Erin, which is expected to actually turn into a hurricane today.
And a reminder, the news doesn't end here. Coming up at 7 on WCNC Plus, more on that boil water advisory in Monroe. Plus, a plan now underway to make 485 safer. And as kids head back to school, we're talking about empty nest syndrome and what you can do to combat it.
That all starts at 7 o'clock on WCNC Plus. We'll see you there in just a few moments. I'm ready for those kids to go back to school.
They're not.
It's a different kind of empty nest, but let's go.
Mama is ready. She is ready.
Ready.
That's right. That's
Get those school stomachs again. The parents know what I'm talking about. They eat too much when they're at home.
that too.
All right.
Right.
Have a great Friday. Join us over on WCNC Plus.
Live look right now at Tropical Storm Erin and her possible track. We're expecting it to become our first hurricane of the season. Luckily, though, it won't feel like hurricane season here as we're gearing up for a sunny weekend. That's perhaps the more important, urgent weather news we've got for us right now. Thanks for streaming with us right now at 7 a.m. here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. Destiny Riches is here this morning tracking your morning commute. But we're going to start things off with meteorologist Majestic Storm to find out more about the sunny weekend ahead.
All right, good morning, guys. Look at how beautiful it is outside. Finally, we are not starting out the day with a whole lot of cloud coverage, rain showers, thunderstorms. Nope, it's Friday. We are starting out the day with a beautiful live camera shot coming in from the Queen City. Doesn't Uptown look absolutely gorgeous this morning? That's not the only area, though. We're continuing to see really mainly clear skies all across our viewing area, including Monroe. Good morning to you. What a nice start to the day. A nice morning to leash up those dogs, go for a walk. Maybe you just take your hot cup of coffee and go sit outside for a little while. If you got things to do today outside and you want to beat the heat, you need to get going right about now because those temperatures are really going to crank up fast. It's going to be a muggy and hot day. Lower rain chances, not zero though, but they are pretty low. We'll get to that. This weekend it's going to be really just hot and muggy each and every day. At times feeling like we're back into the triple digits. And yes, we are watching Tropical Storm Erin. That is forecasted to turn into a hurricane today. Current temperatures across our area mainly into the 60s and 70s. Not too bad. 72 in Rock Hill. Lincolnton, good morning to you. It is 70 degrees. Daytime highs today, they are going to get hot with low 90-degree temperatures. So today would be a good day. Maybe head out to the pool, turn on your sprinkler, let your kids run through it, whatever it means to stay cool. Do it today. You're going to need to keep that in mind over the weekend as well, especially if you're somebody who doesn't have air conditioning. Maybe your air conditioning is broken and not a good time for that because our dew points, they're into the 70s. This is indicating that it's going to stay very hot and muggy and just sticky over this weekend. That's also going to make it feel even hotter than our actual air temperatures. For example, 3 o'clock this afternoon, it's going to feel like we're at 98 degrees here in Charlotte. Then as we fast forward into our Saturday, by 3 o'clock on Saturday, still again back into the mid to upper 90s. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some of our heat index values. Remember, that's what it feels like, reaching about 100 degrees. The next 4 days, we are seeing those temperatures that will remain above our average. We should be into the upper 80s, but really through Monday, we'll hold steady into those low 90s and then dropping down into the upper 80s by Tuesday. As those temperatures increase, our rain chances are going to lower, not zero, but still definitely low. That means if you're heading out to the lake, maybe Saturday, keep in mind at least a 20% chance for a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Right now, our satellite and radar across the Carolinas all looking beautiful. No problems in our forecast this morning, but models are still picking up on the possibility of seeing a few stray showers as we're heading into the afternoon. There's about 3 o'clock. You know how it goes. One neighborhood, it's absolutely beautiful. Then just a few blocks down, you could get a heavy downpour. Very isolated in nature, so most of us, we are staying dry for your Friday. Waking up for your Saturday, maybe you need to go wash your car. It'd be a good weekend to do that after such a rainy weekend. We'll have plenty of sunshine Saturday morning, and then as we head towards Saturday afternoon, again, passing showers, an isolated thunderstorm, not out of the question, but again, the odds of it is relatively low. Tropical Storm Erin, this is going to be a big talker this week and a big part of the forecast really nationally because this is going to be our first hurricane of the season. This is our 5 a.m. advisory. Another one comes out at 11 o'clock, and at that point, it might turn into a hurricane. Moving west-northwest at 17 miles an hour, going to be heading towards the Lesser Antilles, out towards Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. Now it's moving 17 miles an hour, has 70-mile-an-hour sustained winds. We need this number to reach 74. Once it does, then we are now in a hurricane category. Then we are expecting it to strengthen as it continues to move west, as it continues to encounter warmer waters, and then it's expected to turn into a major hurricane Saturday night and into Sunday morning. And not only that, now it's forecasted to turn into a strong Category 4 hurricane. Now, if any good news comes out of this, is that it continues to steer off to the north and to the east, meaning that we won't have any direct impacts across the United States, but we will have dangerous surf out towards the Carolina beaches. So if you're heading to the beach, that's going to be problematic, not going to be good, especially as we're heading into early next week. As we're looking at our 7-day forecast back home, though, lots of sunshine as we're heading into the weekend. If you're heading out to the Charlotte FC game tomorrow, 92 for your high. Nice mix of sun and clouds, 20% chance for a possible shower or thunderstorm. All right, Destiny, how are the roads? Any big impacts people need to know about for their Friday morning commute?
Yeah, as we get into those peak commute times, we are definitely seeing more incidents on the road, but for most of the morning, it's been pretty unique in terms of traffic light malfunctions popping up all over the Charlotte area. This is kind of what our map looks like right now, but I do want to get to this congestion up here in Cornelius near the Lake Norman area. This is a brand new crash this morning. Middle lane blocked due to a crash on I-77 southbound near exit 30, so the Griffith Street exit. That's a big deal for folks headed southbound into the Charlotte area. So that just popped up minutes ago. Wanted to make sure I had that for you, and we'll try to get some more details here. We also have a couple more accidents that have popped up within the last 30 minutes to an hour. Billy Graham Parkway at South Tryon Street. We have a bit more orange for slow and medium impacts at this intersection. A very busy one as folks try to get onto I-77. A little bit further west, Tyvola Road North at Billy Graham Parkway. Another accident in the similar area. And then we do have some lanes blocked over in Northeast Charlotte. Right lane blocked, Sugar Creek Road at Hidden Valley Road, and then also a stalled vehicle has the left turn lane blocked on Statesville Avenue North at LaSalle Street this morning. So it's been a busy morning in terms of traffic light malfunctions, and then also just a couple of accidents popping up later in the morning. So you want to be prepared kind of for anything and give yourself plenty of time and drive safely.
7:06 right now. We turn to a breaking news update now in Southwest Charlotte, where police are investigating a body that was found overnight. One person was found dead along the I-77 ramp near Woodlawn Road. We've reached out to police to find out more about how that person died. A man is behind bars this morning after he allegedly stole equipment from Lake Norman Charter Elementary and then set a building on fire. Police had been looking for a suspect for more than a week. Well, yesterday they arrested Brandon Perry. They say traffic cameras and tips from folks who live around there helped identify him. He now faces several charges, including larceny, which is basically breaking into something, and then burning of a building.
This weekend, Charlotte Pride is taking over Uptown with festivals, shows, a parade, and more.
And while the fun doesn't kick off until tomorrow, setup starts this morning. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane now live with everything you need to know to prepare for the big weekend. And a lot of folks would say he's part of the big fun.
Yeah, I'm the part of the big fun. I'm the only fun right now. They're not setting up yet. Good morning to you, Ben. Good morning, Lisa. Happy Friday, folks. We're here at Forest Ward Parking. Take a look. The park right now, well, it's pretty much empty. But it's going to change because volunteers and those folks who are coming out here to transfix, transform, change this park even into a Pride Festival Wonderland. First year right here at the First Ward Park. This is going to be the center of all that attention, aside from the parade down Tryon Street this weekend as we get ready for the 25th Pride Festival weekend, or the Pride weekend here in Charlotte. Now, we can tell you this is a big weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Party's going to kick off Saturday, tomorrow at noon, and it'll run through the evening. And then on Sunday, there's that big parade that's going to take place from 1 to 4. You know, Pride is more than just a celebration. It's a big boost for Charlotte's local economy. You know, lots of visitors come and stay at our hotels. They'll be at the stores and fill restaurants, bringing a lot of fun and excitement, and also lots of money to the Queen City. A heads up, roads around the park close Friday morning, so Katz says it's offering a $10 all-access pass, I should say. You can park your car someplace else and use the pass, what I'm trying to say, for unlimited rides all weekend. So you can just skip the parking hassle and take the blue line to 7th or 9th Street and jump on the bus and go wherever you need to go. But when it comes down to Pride weekend, a lot of folks say this is just an important time to come together as a family. Take a listen.
Because I feel as a gay man, I'm the biggest person and the deepest loving person that I could be.
Oh, it's just really nice seeing a lot of different people come together to just celebrate Pride.
And I had more people who were going to talk. We didn't show them, but we'll hear from them at 8 o'clock. They're basically saying that this is a fun time, a time that people should come out and experience. And if I didn't give you all the information, that's because I wanted to leave some for you to find your own. Go to our mobile app. We've got it right there. We're reporting right here at First Word Park. We'll send it back to you.
Richard, I remember back, say, 15 years ago, and there would always be a lot of protesters there with signs. I got the sense that in the last few years, protesters were not quite as common. Have we been given any heads up, understanding that sometimes we don't get a heads up about these things, but
Right.
have we been given any heads up about protesters there this weekend?
No, I haven't heard of any. Now, we might have some information at the station. I haven't heard of any protesters coming out here. But of course, one of the things that we also want to say, whenever we have events, big events in Charlotte, we also have a large police presence. So even if there were protesters, we don't expect that to be a major cause for concern. But just the last few years, it has been free of protesters and people being upset about the parade. It is just a part of people coming out and enjoying themselves as one big family.
Again, the festivities this year in First Ward Park.
That's right. All right, Richard Devane reporting live for us there in Uptown. Richard,
Thanks, Richard.
All right, keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're back in just 2 minutes.
.13 now. Thanks for streaming on WCNC Plus. This morning, hundreds of homes and businesses in Monroe are still under a boil water advisory after testing found E. coli in the water. Take a look at this map on your screen. You can see everyone living or working in that red shaded area is under the advisory this morning. Crews hope to have it fixed by later this afternoon. Until then, restaurants and businesses are being forced to close their doors. We spoke to customers and business owners who are frustrated by the announcement.
I look at sandwich shop and it went closed to the health department.
As you can see from our empty street over here, nobody's coming into backstage.
Again, the officials say they hope to have the testing completed and everything cleared by the afternoon. This morning, you can expect to see more law enforcement on your commute on 485 this morning. After 6 people died in a crash last month, the State Highway Patrol is launching a new safety campaign to keep it from happening again. During the 90-day push, troopers will increase their visibility and remind folks to stay safe on the road. Officers say they are focused on addressing the biggest contributors in deadly crashes, things like speeding, not wearing seat belts, and impaired driving.
The big thing that we talk about is called the Big Three, which honestly, this day and time, it ought to be called the Big Four, throwing distracted driving in there. Because as you'll see, especially here in just a little bit, every car that goes by you can probably see one of them on their cell phone.
Now, as for that crash last month, we are still waiting to get the full report from the NTSB.
A new plan could impact Duke Energy bills and service. The company wants to merge its 2 Carolina utilities into one. Officials say it would save customers more than $1 billion through 2038, while also helping simplify operations and support economic growth. Right now, Duke says there won't be any immediate changes to your rates or services. Big changes could impact some 750,000 people on North Carolina's state health plan. To keep the plan from running out of money next year, officials say premiums and out-of-pocket costs are going to go up. That could range anywhere from $10 to over $100, depending on your salary. The good news is that some surgeries now will be completely covered by that plan.
Right now, the lone Democratic candidate for South Carolina governor is under pressure from his own party to withdraw from the race. It follows the release of this video showing the moment Charleston police arrested Mullins McLeod back in May. In the video, you can hear him threatening his opponents in the race and using a racial slur. Police say he initially refused to identify himself. He eventually did and alluded to his plans to run for governor.
McLeod for governor! And you know what that is? The people's house!
It doesn't matter, my friend. Trust me, I'm one of the most just humans to ever walk
Okay,
this
just human.
soil.
Tell me your name.
I'm just human.
McLeod is facing misdemeanor charges for disorderly conduct. You can watch that full hour-long video on our WCNC mobile app.
We'll keep it right here. We're back in just 2 minutes here on WCNC Plus. $7:18 right now on WCNC Plus. Turning now to some new video from Tennessee, where a police officer's body camera was rolling as she rescued people trapped in their cars in rising floodwaters. This happened in Chattanooga earlier this week. You can see the officer help several people climb out of their car windows and even help rescue a dog at one point. Goodness. Chattanooga's airport recorded more than 6.5 inches of rain on Tuesday, leading to intense flash flooding. Goodness. All right, back here at home. It looks like we are actually done for the rain for at least now.
Thank goodness.
And good timing. I mean, as we're heading into the weekend, finally, we get some sunshine. We get warmer temperatures. There's a live camera shot coming in from Dallas. We've had multiple days in a row where it is just very gloomy and lots of rain has fallen. And that's going to be a big reason why it is going to be so muggy. Current temperatures, if you're heading out the door this morning, are pretty comfortable. Not only is it beautiful outside, but we're into the 60s and 70s. 73 degrees right now for Gastonia, 72 in Rock Hill, much of the same out towards Chester. Let's take a look at those daytime highs today. If you're watching from the mountains, good morning to you. It's going to be beautiful and really comfortable. 77 is where you'll top off today in Banner Elk, 76 across Blowing Rock, low 80s out towards the Boone area, and as we're looking towards the foothills, upper 80s, some low 90-degree temperatures. Lenore, 88 is where you'll top off, 92 for Lincolnton, 92 also for Shelby, and just a touch warmer from Lancaster to Monroe with a high of 93 degrees. So the heat's returning. The humidity, it has been here all week long, but with that added sunshine, it's all just going to feel even hotter than our actual air temperatures. So there's our dew points into the 70s. Whenever we have 70 degrees, when we're looking at dew points, that means that it is going to be very sticky outside, and it's going to make it feel like we're back into the mid to upper 90s each and every day this weekend. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some of our heat indices actually reach those triple digits. Remember, that's just what it feels like as you're spending time outside. So if you work outside in the elements, or if you just want to head out to the lake over the next few days, just make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're drinking water, takes breaks from the heat if you need to. As we're looking at Tuesday, we'll drop down just a bit, back down into the 80s. Rain chances will start to lower, so temperatures go up, rain chances will lower. They will not be at zero though today or tomorrow or even into Sunday. So do keep this in mind that while most of us will not see a single raindrop, we can't 100% rule it out that there won't be all of a sudden a random spotty shower or even an isolated downpour with a storm. Odds of that are relatively low, very low actually. Here's a look at our futurecast, what it could look like, what radar could look like as we're heading into that 3 o'clock time frame. There are some of those showers and storms that we could see. Very low chances though, most of them up in the mountain locations. Notice though, as we progress through time, they'll kind of just fizzle out, and then waking up tomorrow morning for Saturday, talk about a beautiful start to the weekend, not just today, but let's just keep it going. Through Saturday, it's going to be nice. Temperatures definitely get hot though, back into the 90s. That added heat and humidity, and Saturday we'll also watch for a few scattered showers and isolated storms. Again, only about a 20% chance. All right, Destiny, do we have any accidents ongoing this morning?
We definitely do. It's getting very busy out there, but this is something we've been reporting on all morning long, and that is a road blocked from a water main break in Uptown. This is Tryon and 6th, and we do have information from Charlotte Water. They said that they are repairing this right now, and there could be a water outage for several hours. Water is not flowing into the road right now, but the road is still closed for the time being. So again, if you're around Tryon and 6th, just be aware in Uptown, people will be trying to get through this, and it might cause some issues for you. Now going to our camera shot here, this is a very serious incident up in Cornelius, I-77 southbound. There was a lane blocked from this crash, but it's now moved to the shoulder, but traffic still moving very slowly right by it. So this is something to be aware of this morning. It's causing some backups, but they are starting to diminish. So right now it's just here near Griffith Street where that accident happened. Traffic is not backed up to exit 28 right now. Things are improving, thankfully, but just be aware from what you saw in that camera shot that crews are still on the scene. We also are following an accident on I-85 northbound near Gastonia. So this is NC7 backed up to New Hope Road. We have a long stretch of backups right here, and usually this is a heavy congested area during this time, so we'll keep watching this and see how it affects folks traveling north into the Charlotte area. We do also have, again, this road blocked. So going all the way to the east now, Albemarle Road at Old Savannah Road is a new accident we're following. And then also University City Boulevard at Caldwell Road. We've also been seeing a lot of traffic light malfunctions across the Charlotte area. I counted 7 in the last couple of minutes. So that's a lot to follow. You just want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time this morning just in case you run into one of them. Drive safely.
And treated as a four-way stop. All right, thanks so much, Destiny, for that report. Many parents know about getting a physical for their child before heading back to school. But did you know that you should get them a yearly eye exam as well?
WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg spoke with an optometrist about the everyday impact they can have for your kids.
The optometrist I spoke with says 80% of learning is obtained through our eyes, so making sure your kids have a clear vision is critical. She says eye exams should start before kids even reach school age.
Seeing a child between the age of 6 and 12 months is very important to bring the child to the optometrist. Then between 3 and 5 years of age, a comprehensive eye exam is necessary before starting school. And during school years, we recommend annual eye vision and eye health exams.
Optometrist Dr. Jackie Bowen says kids don't always tell you when something might be wrong, but there are signs parents should be looking out for.
If they shy away from doing artwork or near material, if you feel like their coordination is off.
Dr. Bowen says a comprehensive eye exam can detect other issues as well.
Many children don't need glasses, but have disorders of the visual system that impact learning, school performance, athletic ability.
So what can parents do to help protect their kids' eyes?
I think most parents understand now that we want to limit screen time. But when they are on the screen, teach them the 20-20-20 rule. That is, every 20 minutes, have the child look 20 feet away or more for 20 seconds or more.
Dr. Bowen says a good way to make sure kids are away from screens, getting them outside. Megan Bragg, WCNC Charlotte.
Well, good Friday morning, everyone. Finally, the return of sunny skies and warm weather. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. This weekend, really all across Charlotte. We're looking at temperatures that are into the 70s, 73 in Charlotte. Good morning to everyone out there in Hickory, low 70s. Daytime highs today, they are going to be warmer, rising back into the lower end of the 90s. Hot and very muggy, so that humidity is going to make it feel like we're back into the upper 90s by this afternoon, even triple digits at times. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Whether you're heading out to the lake or the pool, you will need lots of sunblock and water this weekend. Quick peek at some of those rain chances today. Small chances this afternoon for a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Overall, though, the big weekend weather forecast is going to be all about the heat and humidity. Stay close to our weather team. We'll keep you up to date. Destiny, do you have any problems across those area roadways this morning?
We do. We're starting to see accidents on our interstates. This is one from I-77 in Cornelius on the southbound side. The accident has moved over into the shoulder, but traffic is crawling by, and that's going to be an issue if you're coming down from Iredell County into Mecklenburg. Right now, we're seeing heavy backups, even though it's moved over to the shoulder. We also have a new accident on I-85 northbound near Gastonia this morning. Heavy backups there. We'll be back on WCNC Plus.
Thanks for joining us live on WCNC Plus at 7:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Over the past few weeks, we've talked about the summer slide. And now as kids head back to school, it's also important for them to keep up with any new skills they may have learned over the summer.
I recently visited a Spanish language camp where kids are learning and improving their Spanish to help them get ready for the new school year. Inside the Academy of Language Mastery and Arts in Indian Trail, 6-year-old Amelia Proctor, her sister, and a friend enjoy games and crafts, all in Spanish.
Once that you have them engaged in something that is not like you have to learn the language or something like strictly academic, they love it. And when they see themselves like that they can talk, that they can say things, that they can sing songs, play games in another language, it's beautiful.
On the cards there's like the things in Spanish, so we have to say the Spanish words.
Amelia's mother, Anastasia, a doctoral student in education research, says it was important to have her girls immersed in Spanish. After living abroad in Spain for a year, she enrolled Amelia in a dual language immersion program through Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools and the Alma camp for reinforcement.
It's hard to learn and it's also fun.
I thought they will totally use this in some way or another, whether it's those extra neurons or if they choose to use their second language later in life. Like, let's start now and let's keep it going.
North Carolina is a leader in dual language immersion. The 2021 Canvas of DLI Programs of U.S. Public Schools shows North Carolina was 5th in the nation and 1st in the Southeast in the number of programs. CMS has 6 schools that offer dual language in Spanish alone.
They're getting that same growth in development, and they're just doing it in a second language. But it's still just as fun.
Back at Alma, the students say learning Spanish doesn't feel like work.
We get to do arts and crafts. We get to make all sorts of things.
And in our area, it is not just CMS that offers the dual language learning, and it's not just in Spanish. Union County has language immersion programs in 30 schools in 2 languages, and again, CMS a number of languages. It's very impressive to see what those kids are learning.
And it matters because kids, it's proven, can pick up these languages much faster than, say, if you and I decided to take up Mandarin tomorrow.
Yeah, let's not.
We would struggle. All right, let's get a check your forecast on this Friday. Here's Majestic.
All right, good Friday morning, everyone. It's so pretty outside, isn't it? Nice change of pace after multiple days in a row where we had so much rain, we had cloudy skies, but now we're heading into the weekend with beautiful blue skies and sunshine. Another live camera look coming in from Dallas this morning. Really, everyone should be ready for a sunny weekend, but it's not just going to be sunny. It's also going to be very muggy and hot with temperatures back into the 90s. At times it could feel like we're back into the triple digits, and we will continue to keep a close eye on what is now Tropical Storm Erin, but what will likely be our first hurricane of the season. Temperatures, if you're heading out the door, mainly into the 60s and 70s. It's pretty comfortable for most of us. 72 in Rock Hill, 73 right here in Charlotte. Forecasted highs today, mid to upper 70s, low 80s for the mountain locations. 80 degrees today in Jefferson, 79 in Fleetwood as we're looking up towards Lenoir and Taylorsville. Sunny skies today in the foothills with upper 80s and low 90s. But remember, it is going to be a muggy day, so it's going to feel a little bit hotter than this. 92 for Concord and 89 for Salisbury. As we're looking at just to the south of that, temperatures will bump up just a bit from Lancaster out towards Chesterfield. Dew points into the 70s. Remember, whenever we see 70s for dew points, that means it's very, very sticky. You step outside and you can just feel that humidity. But it's not just that, it's going to make our actual air temperatures, which will be into the 90s for the next 4 days in a row, feel even hotter than that. So here's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to feel around 98 degrees or so in Charlotte. Again, would not be surprised if it actually felt like we were into the triple digits at some point during the weekend. So if you're sensitive to the heat, make sure you are really prepared for the return of heat and humidity. Rain chances as a whole will start to drop. You can see it here over the next 7 days. So you might need to start watering your grass and your gardens and your flowers again, because right now, satellite and radar, we're not seeing any rain, and really overall rain chances as a whole are very low this morning, and even into the afternoon, only about a 20% chance or so for a random pop-up shower or storm. Keep that in mind, though, because you know how it goes. It can be sunny and nice, then all of a sudden a downpour happens. Here's Tropical Storm Aaron. This is still the 5 a.m. advisory. We'll get another one coming in at 11 a.m. this morning. Still moving northwest at about 17 miles an hour. Right now, we do have sustained winds at 70 miles an hour. So we need those winds to pick up, which they're going to. Once they get to 74, that's when it will turn into a hurricane. Expected to then strengthen as we're heading into the weekend into a Category 2 and a Category 3 hurricane over the weekend. And then as we're heading into what seems to be Monday, this is going to turn into a Category 4 hurricane. Now, any good news out of this is that with such a strong storm, a lot of our models are indicating that it will not really touch the United States at all. I mean, I think we'll get some impacts as far as dangerous rip currents, high surf, stuff like that. So we'll be watching the coast very, very carefully. But it continues to stay out at sea instead of just making landfall on shore. So stay close to our team. We'll be following that all throughout the weekend. Here's our 7-day forecast back home. Beautiful weather. Start making those outdoor plans, especially if you like the heat and humidity. This weekend is for you. But again, make sure you're also taking care of any outdoor pets, because if it's hot for us, it's hot for them. All right, Destiny, how are the roads this morning?
Well, right now we are still dealing with a water main break closure in Uptown, specifically at 237 North Tryon Street, but it's Tryon and 6th. Basically, Charlotte Water is saying that they are working on this. They say that there is going to be a water outage in this area. And then also it's a situation where the water is not going out onto the street right now. So that's a good thing, but they are keeping it closed while they continue work this morning. So while crews are out there, just be aware of that. This is where the closure is at. There's a little bit of a slow traffic impact on the street near that intersection. So just take your time trying to get around that if you're in Uptown. We're also following a crash that is moved over into the shoulder now in Cornelius this morning. So for folks traveling southbound to get into Charlotte, just be aware that this is going on. It's still active, but right now traffic is moving a lot smoother than it was whenever there was a lane blocked. So if we can see right here, there's some patches of slow traffic, some of medium traffic in this area. Some people probably trying to get around it on Statesville right there. But for the most part, just the shoulder blocked, so you shouldn't have any major issues. We do have an active accident though on I-85 northbound out near McAdenville. This is at NC7 and traffic is backed up quite a bit this morning. So usual congested spot, but we have an active accident, which always makes things worse. And then if we go all the way to the east, we have a new crash, Albemarle Road at Old Savannah Road this morning, a bit of slow traffic in this area. And then we've also been having a lot of traffic light malfunctions. So traffic lights flashing red. You want to treat those as an always stop. This is the one impacting traffic the most. It's in the Steel Creek area, Westinghouse Boulevard at Steel Creek Road. Big backup right there. Again, treat red lights if they're in all directions as a four-way stop. And because there are like 7 of them on the map right now, you just want to be prepared in case you run into one this morning.
Right. Destiny, thanks. Keep it right here. We're back in 2 minutes on WCNC Plus.
The time now is 7:40. You're streaming live on WCNC Plus. Taking a live look right now over Anchorage, Alaska. In just hours, President Trump is expected to sit down with Russia's President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. He will be joined by Secretary of State Marco Rubio as they push to end the 3-year war in Ukraine. President Trump has sharpened his tone in recent weeks as Putin continues to defy calls to stop the war. Tensions are rising this morning as violent strikes continue in both Russia and Ukraine.
We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. If it's a bad meeting, it'll end very quickly. And if it's a good meeting, we're going to end up getting peace in the pretty near future.
Today's meeting will be capped with a news conference, though it's not clear if both presidents will take questions. Missing from today's meeting will be Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. President Trump has said that if today goes well, there will be a second meeting that includes Zelensky.
In Washington, D.C., the chief of Metropolitan Police has issued an executive order which gives D.C. police the ability to notify ICE about any undocumented immigrants they pull over in traffic stops. This would mean immigrants who have not been charged with a crime or detained will be reported to ICE for possible arrest and deportation. Meantime, officials began clearing homeless encampments yesterday in an effort to continue President Trump's crackdown on homelessness and crime. In Florida now, Governor Ron DeSantis says the state is planning to open a second deportation depot, as it's called. It will be located in Sanderson. That's about 45 miles west of Jacksonville. It's the second such facility alongside the controversial Alligator Alcatraz. At this time, it's unclear when that facility will open.
As thousands of CMS teachers and students prepare to head back to class in just over a week, concerns are growing over immigration enforcement at local schools. Now, one nonprofit is finding ways to help families who may be impacted. Camino is an organization that provides resources to Charlotte's Latino community. Officials we spoke with say the best thing that people can do now is stay prepared. Camino is encouraging anyone who has questions to give their office a call. And to learn more about this organization, just head to our WCNC Charlotte app. We'll keep it right here because we are back in just 2 minutes.
.45 right now on your Friday morning. Nearly 11 months after Hurricane Helene, some good news this morning as western North Carolina continues to rebuild. In just hours, more than 30 campsites along the Blue Ridge Parkway will reopen. They're located in Loop A of the Julian Price Campground near Blowing Rock, popular place. It comes just in time for late summer and fall adventures. Perfect time. If you want to go, you'll reserve the spot online.
Well, as been mentioned, it's been nearly 1 year since Hurricane Helene changed our state forever. This video was some of the first to emerge from Asheville following that storm, and it gave us a small glimpse at the devastation in parts of western North Carolina.
This week, the NCDOT hosted a media tour in Yancey and Mitchell counties to show off the recovery progress there. Reporter Elijah Skipper has more on the repairs and the challenges that remain.
In a crowded NCDOT SUV, elbows pressed against notepads and cameras, the ride was bumpy, literally. But if you ask the man in the driver's seat, this is exactly where he's most comfortable.
That was the access for about 100 homes.
Chris Dayton, Deputy Division Engineer, born and raised in Yancey County, doesn't need GPS. He knows every back road and nearly everyone along them.
Yeah, this was the fire department. The guy got trapped in, had to take an axe and cut the roof out.
Nearly a year after Helene, the scars still remain. Dayton is proud to point out what's been rebuilt and the sacrifices it took to get here.
Right after the storm, brought therapists in to meet with a lot of our people, just to help them, especially those that had a lot of severe personal loss, as well as what they were seeing out here in their own communities.
Across Yancey and Mitchell counties, Division 13 has rebuilt dozens of washed-out sections, stabilized slopes, and replaced bridges. The price tag so far, $600 million.
But we're going to spend more on this one storm event than we have since 2001 for the entire state.
From temporary fixes to permanent upgrades, engineers have upsized culverts, added armor to stream banks, and raised low approaches.
From the transportation worker ones all up to the upper management is everybody wants to do this work. That's why, as Chris described, people were at job sites before sunrise and left after sunset. That's why we had clerks doing paperwork even longer.
A year ago, Helene cut these roads in half. Today, they're open. And for the man who's driven them his whole life, worth every mile.
The one silver line out of this has made this a stronger communities, more resilient communities. Like you said, there's people that might know their neighbors, don't really know their neighbors. They say hey when they see them, but don't know what's going on in their lives. With this event, everyone is out, what do you need? What can I help with? What can I do for you?
Elijah Skipper reporting for us there, and that's why we continue to bring those stories to you, because here in Charlotte we are fine. We have moved on. Things were never that serious here, but in so many of those surrounding counties around us, they're still dealing with this stuff a year later.
And when you're talking about roads being destroyed, having to be rebuilt, I mean, that does something to your community when you can't travel to the grocery store, the neighborhood that you used to. So hats off to the people there and to that entire community, because there's still more work that needs to be done.
Let's go ahead and bring in Majestic. She's standing by with a look at your Friday and perhaps your more important weekend forecast.
Sunny forecast. Finally saying goodbye to the storms and the rain that we've had for multiple days. Now here's a live camera look. You can see it is beautiful outside. If you are heading out the door, you want to go for a walk this morning, it is perfect. It is going to get hot though as we're heading into the later half of the day as temperatures continue to rise mainly into the 90s. But because of that added humidity, it's going to feel like we're back into really the upper 90s and low 100s. Current temperatures right now, again, 60s, 70s, 71 degrees in Hickory, 71 in Morganton, 72 in Rock Hill. Here's how the day plays out. Sunny skies. I think we'll see a little bit of cloud coverage at times. Low 90s for our air temperature, upper 90s though as we're looking at our heat indices. Remember, that's just what it feels like on your skin if you're going to be out and about today. It is going to be very, very muggy. You probably have noticed that uptick in humidity this week, and that is not going anywhere. Dew points into the 70s indicates that it is going to feel very sticky outside, but it's also giving some indication that these temperatures over the next 4 days will feel even hotter than they already will be. So if you're sensitive to the heat, make sure you do have a nice way to stay cool. If you have any young children, make sure you're keeping them in mind, of course, and any outdoor pets as well. It's going to feel like we're into the upper 90s as soon as 3 o'clock this afternoon. So maybe you're picking up the kids from school today out there in Rock Hill. It's going to feel almost 100 degrees. And then as we're heading into the later half have the day today. Of course, it's going to cool down a little bit. Not a whole lot of cooling overnight, because then for our Saturday, all of a sudden feeling like we're back into the mid to upper 90s, low 100s again. So nice conditions if you're heading out to the lake or the pool, but grab that sunblock. You will need to start applying and reapplying multiple layers if you are spending time outside this weekend, which hopefully you are. It's going to be beautiful. Rain chances are going to drop. They won't be zero though, so keep this in mind, because you know how it goes across the Carolinas. It'll be gorgeous and sunny, and then all of a sudden we'll have a random heavy downpour, similar as to what we saw yesterday, but our overall opportunities for that, it is rather low. However, models are still picking up on that as well. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can still see some of that shower activity, perhaps an isolated thunderstorm. 7 o'clock tonight though, if you have any plans for your Friday evening, I think it's going to be pretty enjoyable. Maybe go find some live music, sit outside. Yeah, it's going to be hot. Grab some water. You'll be all right. We're looking at tomorrow morning though, Saturday. If you need to do things outside and you want to beat the heat, you got to get out there sooner than later, because again, tomorrow back into the upper 90s as far as what it will feel like, and we do still have those chances for a pop-up shower or storm tomorrow afternoon. As for today though, if we do see a pop-up shower or thunderstorm, it's about a 20% chance, mainly into the afternoon and early evening hours. And then there's a big picture look at our 7-day forecast. Lots of sunshine. That's what we like to see. We should be into the upper 80s as our seasonal high for this time of the year. Tomorrow, the Charlotte FC game is going on. About 92 for our high. Lots of sunshine and about a 20% chance for a pop-up shower or storm. All right, Destiny, what's the very latest? What's going on here?
Yeah, it's been a busy morning in Uptown between traffic light malfunctions and also this water main break that crews are fixing. And we just learned from Charlotte Water that they're going to be fixing it throughout most of the day. So this is West 6th Street between Tryon Street and North Church Street. While there's no water, flowing out into the roadway right now, this is going to be closed for a while. We now know it's going to be at least a 10-hour closure this morning. So definitely take heed with that, especially with all the festivities happening in Uptown today and through the weekend. 10 hours still just till today. So thankfully it's not a closure throughout the entire weekend. But if we go to the map, we can see what's going on. Behind this icon, there's a little bit of a slow traffic impact here as folks try to navigate around this closure. But 10 hours is a long time, so you want to plan ahead. Charlotte Water is saying to take 7th Street instead. That'll be open for you for a detour. We're also following this crash. It is moving over to the shoulder, but just be aware, crews on scene here after this accident I'd say about an hour ago. It was about top of the hour that it popped up. The accident is cleared, but as you can see, lots of backups for folks traveling southbound on I-77 from Iredell into Mecklenburg County. Also following a crash on I-85 northbound from Gastonia into the Charlotte area. Traffic backed up quite a bit there. And then we also have this accident that has been causing some issues. Albemarle Road at Old Savannah Road. It was slow traffic. Now it's about medium impact there. We've had a lot of traffic light malfunctions. This is the one affecting people the most. Can't go through all of them. There's just too many. Westinghouse Boulevard at Steel Creek Road. That is a popular trafficked area in the Steel Creek, South Charlotte area. So just keep that in mind and drive safely, everyone.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. The weekend is upon us, and the big question, what to do this weekend. One special spot takes place right here in this building. This happens to be the Catawba Science Center up in Hickory, North Carolina. Great spot to visit. They're there on 3rd Avenue Northeast in Hickory. 35,000 square foot science technology museum with hands-on exhibits, animal habitats, fun and interactive learning. Really great for all ages. Log on to catawbascience.org for all of the information. There's an aquarium, gift shop, planetarium events, and yes, hands-on fun for the whole family. So don't miss out on the Catawba Science Center, Hickory, North Carolina. That's what's happening this weekend. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
Larry, thanks so much. A reminder that we are looking for our next hometown hero. With the help of the Charlotte area Hyundai dealers, we are recognizing your everyday hero. Perhaps you know someone who goes above and beyond to make your community a better place. If you know someone like that, head to WCNC.com/hometown hero between now and August 17th to nominate that person. If they win, they will get a brand new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more on WCNC Plus.
All right, good morning, everyone. We are heading into our Friday with gorgeous weather outside. Finally, we get some sunshine. I know many of us, we are looking forward to it. Hey, if you're heading out for a morning run or walk, or maybe you just got places to be, you got things to do. Temperatures right now are mainly into the 70s. It's 76 degrees in Charlotte. Satellite and radar much quieter this morning compared to what we were waking up to yesterday at this time. And I really don't suspect we'll have much issues really as we're heading into the day today. Now, as we're heading into the afternoon, still small chance for a spotty shower or storm, so keep that in mind if you're heading out to the golf course, if you're heading out to the lake today, because you know how it goes. Sunny skies in one neighborhood, then we could see a random downpour in another. Overall, though, chances are only 20% for that today. Waking up tomorrow morning to our Saturday, another beautiful start to our Saturday. If you're heading out to the farmers market, shouldn't have any problems. Again, heading into our Saturday afternoon, small chance for a pop-up shower or storm. Keep this in mind if you do have any plans today. There's a look at our rain chances over the next 12 hours. Not perfect, but really quite low for any Friday plans. 7-day forecast looks like this. Plenty of sunshine all throughout the weekend. Sunny skies today, a high of 92 degrees. Kind of a rinse and repeat forecast for tomorrow. If you're heading out to the Charlotte FC game, it is going to feel hot. That added humidity making it feel like we're back into the mid to upper 90s. We'll wrap up the weekend with sunny skies and head into next week with still above average temperatures. Destiny.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We're going to start things off by getting a check of our forecast for this Friday. Majestic storm is standing by and sunshine has returned.
It's so pretty outside. Take a look at your screen. We have blue skies and sunshine. Finally, I can say that. You'll want to grab some sunglasses before you head out the door and start hydrating, because really it is going to get really quite hot this weekend. At times, it's going to feel like we're back into the upper 90s, low 100s, but hey, at least we have that sunshine. We've had such an odd start to the month of August with so many days well below our average and a whole lot of rain. The reason why it's so muggy outside this morning and why it will be this afternoon and this weekend is a lot to do with the rain that we have received. 60s and 70s if you're heading out the door, 74 in Rock Hill, 73 out there in Shelby. So pretty comfortable for the most part right now. Rain chances are 0 this morning, but they will pop into the lower end or into the 20s as we're heading into the afternoon, early evening. So that simply just means we could see a random pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Most of us won't see it, but we can't 100% rule it out over the next 12 hours. We dropped off the kids this morning at school. Many of us, beautiful start to the day, but as they're coming home, it is going to be hot. So if you send them out to play, make sure they have some sunblock on, because temperatures again rising into the 90s, and then it's going to feel even hotter than that, back into the upper 90s, low 100s at times. There's a look at our overall highs. Remember, we should be into the upper 80s. We'll be above that today. I'm going to walk you through our entire weekend weather forecast coming up here in just a bit. Destiny, how's the roads this morning?
This morning, it's definitely been interesting. We've had a couple of traffic light malfunctions going on, and then we've also had this water main break going on this morning. So this is at Tryon and 6th. Definitely not a great situation because it's going to be closed for most of the day, at least 10 hours, according to Charlotte Water. So while this work is going on, just be aware of congestion in and around the area because people will be trying to navigate this closure. So definitely not the greatest issue when you have a lot that's going on this weekend. It's supposed to be a fun weekend and you don't want to run into this, but we do have a detour option for you, so that's good. So if we go to the map here, you can see exactly where the closure is. It's between North Tryon and Church Street. Again, at least 10 hours today, and then take 7th Street instead. That's going to be your best bet. Moving on to some of the other incidents this morning, an accident on I-85 northbound at NC7, that's exit 23. Traffic backed up probably beyond New Hope Road at this point. It's backed up almost all the way from McAdenville into Gastonia, just east of Gastonia this morning. So plan ahead for that backup. Looking across the area, we have just been having a lot of congestion going on at this peak commute time as folks are going out to work. So a little bit on I-485 near Matthews, a lot on I-77. We did have a crash up near Cornelius. That is cleared, but still some heavy congestion near Lake Norman. And then going into some of these other incidents, a little bit smaller incidents, but still causing an impact. Traffic light malfunction at Westinghouse Boulevard at Seal Creek Road. And things are getting active in this area. We have an accident on South Tryon Street at Youngblood, and then also a disabled vehicle, York Road North at Grand Palisades Parkway. Drive safely.
Now back to breaking news we've been following throughout the morning here on WCNC Plus in Southwest Charlotte, where police are investigating after a body was found overnight. One person found dead along I-77, the ramp right near Woodlawn. We've reached out to police to find out more about that investigation. A man is behind bars this morning after he allegedly stole equipment from Lake Norman Charter Elementary and set a building on fire. Police have been looking for a suspect for more than a week. Well, yesterday they arrested Brandon Perry. They say traffic cameras and tips from folks living around there help identify him. He's now facing several charges, including theft and burning a building.
This weekend, Charlotte Pride is taking over Uptown with festivals, shows, a parade, and more.
And while the fun doesn't kick off until tomorrow, setup starts this morning. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane now live with everything we need to know to head into the big celebratory weekend. Richard.
Yeah, guys, everything you need to know. Well, we've got it on our app, but I'll talk about it a little bit. I see some workers getting ready to start the preparations, actually going to transform First Ward Park, which is where I'm sitting or standing or just hanging out right now. Look behind me. Nothing is happening right now, but I can tell you that workers are beginning to arrive. They're going to start closing off this area to parking. They've already got the signs up, and just in a little bit, they're going to start working to make this the epicenter of the Pride weekend right here in Charlotte. Now, as we look at video, you know, if you've ever been out to one of these events, you know it is a lot of fun. There is lots of excitement. There's lots of colorful things to see. This is one of those big events. The party will kick off Saturday starting at noon. Of course, there'll be a lot of stuff going on. There'll be a main stage. There'll be all types of things, not only in the park, but around the park here at First Ward Park, that'll be taking place over the next 2 days. Pride is just a lot more than a celebration. It actually also provides a big boost to our local economy. You know, folks come and they pack the hotels, they shop at the local stores and restaurants, and just spend a lot of money right here in the Queen City. Now, we want to also tell you that roads around the park, as I just mentioned, are closed, and they've already started that process. You're not allowed to park here. We'll be leaving in just a little bit as far as our cars are concerned. But there's help for that. You can take the CAT system. They are offering an all-access pass. Who doesn't like an all-access pass? $10, that's all it costs. You can get on, ride around, come to all the events and navigate around Uptown if you need to. Also, leave your car, don't have to worry about parking. Good advice for you there. And just remember, when it comes to the Pride Weekend, it is so much fun, excitement. And for folks who attend this event, they say it's really just all about family. Take a listen.
If we don't stick together and have the pride in ourselves and with each other, then where are we? Because I feel as a gay man, I'm the biggest person and the deepest loving person that I could be.
It's just really nice seeing a lot of different people come together to just celebrate Pride.
To me, I feel like it's a way to express myself around people that actually love it.
Yeah, it's a great event. Everyone comes out and has a great time. And if you need more information about all that's going on this weekend, as far as the Pride festivities, the Pride Weekend, if you will, first time here in the 25-year history. It's the first time it's going to emulate right here from First Ward Park. The parade, of course, is on Tryon, as it is all the time. Come out and enjoy. If you need more information, log on to our mobile app. Just pick up the mobile app, pick up your old phone and look it up and find it. And then you got all your information. We got so much stuff in the mobile app. Try the mobile app.
That's right. I mean, and Richard, you really are you are all access pass for all things happening
Oh,
there.
wow. That is so nice.
Hey,
that
listen,
is so nice.
A lot of people are surprised because we have a lot of parades here in Charlotte. We've got the Thanksgiving parade. We've got,
this is the biggest one.
We've got several. This is the biggest one.
Absolutely, it's the biggest one. It's the biggest one. It's the most colorful one. It's the most festive one, and it's a fun one. So even if you don't have a chance to come out, just watch us because we're going to have video from it. It's a fun time, and it is usually free of any major incidents and things like that. It's a safe time. Police are always out here, so making sure that everyone has fun. But the crowds and people who come out are coming out for one reason: just celebrating life, celebrating Pride.
All right,
Richard. What a great resource he is.
He is, he is. All right, this month, of course, we are helping clear the shelters by getting pets adopted.
Our featured animal today, take a look. Lucky. There she is, 3 years old. She's spayed. She needs a forever home. You can adopt Lucky through the Hearts of the Foothills Animal Rescue. Just scan that QR code to learn more about Clear the Shelters and other pets that you can adopt. I know somebody watching is going to want Lucky.
Look at that face.
A cute dog. All right, keep it right here because we're back in just 2 minutes on WCNC+. 8:11 now. Thanks for streaming on WCNC Plus. This morning, hundreds of homes and businesses in Monroe are still under a boil water advisory after testing found E. coli in the water. Take a look at this map right now on your screen. Everyone living or working in that red shaded color is under the advisory this morning. Crews hope to have it fixed by later this afternoon. Until then, though, restaurants and businesses are being forced to close their doors. We spoke to customers and business owners who are frustrated by the announcement.
I look at sandwich shop and it went closed to the health department. As you can see from our empty street over here, nobody's coming into backstage.
Again, the officials hope to have that testing finished and everything cleared by this afternoon. This morning, you can expect to see more law enforcement on your commute on 485 after 6 people died in a crash last month on the interstate. The State Highway Patrol is launching a new safety campaign to keep it from happening again. During the 90-day push, troopers will increase their visibility and remind folks to stay safe on the road. Officers say they are focused on addressing the biggest contributors in deadly crashes, like speeding, not wearing seat belts, and impaired driving.
The big thing that we talk about is called the Big Three, which honestly, this day and time, it ought to be called the Big Four, throwing distracted driving in there. Because as you'll see, especially here in just a little bit, every car that goes by you can probably see one of them on their cell phone.
Now, as for that crash last month that killed 6, we are still waiting to get the full report from the NTSB.
A new plan could impact Duke Energy bills and service. The company wants to merge its 2 Carolina utilities into one. Officials say it would save customers more than $1 billion through 2038, while also simplifying operations and support economic growth. Right now, Duke says there won't be any immediate changes to your rates or services. Big changes could impact some 750,000 people on North Carolina's state health plan. To keep the plan from running out of money next year, officials say premiums and out-of-pocket costs will go up. That could range anywhere from $10 up to $100, depending on how much money you make. The good news is some surgeries will now be completely covered under the plan.
8:13 right now. The lone Democratic candidate for South Carolina governor is under pressure from his own party to withdraw from the race. It follows the release of this video showing the moment Charleston police arrested Mullins McLeod back in May. In the video, you can hear him threatening his opponents in the race and using a racial slur. Police say he initially refused to identify himself, but eventually did and alluded to his plans to run for governor.
McLeod for governor! And you know what that is? The people's house!
It doesn't matter, my friend. Trust me, I'm one of the most just humans to ever walk
Okay, just
this
human.
soil.
Tell me your name.
I'm just human.
McLeod is facing misdemeanor charges for disorderly conduct. You can watch that full hour-long video on our WCNC mobile app.
Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're back here in just 2 minutes.
Well, good morning, everyone. Time to wake up and get your Friday morning started. At least that sunshine should help with that. It's gorgeous outside. Nothing but blue skies and sunshine coming in from Monroe. That's really the view that many of us are waking up to. Finally, after multiple days in a row of such gloomy conditions, this weekend it's going to be beautiful. Lots of sunshine. It will be muggy, though. At times, it's going to feel over 100 degrees. So if you're sensitive to the heat, make sure you stay close to our weather team. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest. But for now, just get ready for a more summer-like weather pattern. If you thought we were done with summer, we're not even close. We are looking at still keeping a close eye on the tropics as we're heading into the weekend. Tropical storm Erin now forecasted to become the first hurricane later on today. Temperatures right now mainly into the 70s. We're at 74 in Rock Hill, 76 in Charlotte. Statesville, good morning to you. 73 is where you'll start out the day. Notice a whole lot of sunshine in our planner. Low 90s for actual air temperature. Once you add in the humidity, around 98 degrees. That is going to feel very hot, especially if you have to be outside for an extended amount of time. If you work outside in the elements, make sure you pack extra water with you. You're taking breaks from the heat because this is not just going to be a one day and then we're done type of deal. We have multiple days in a row of that. Small rain and storm chances we're heading into the next few hours, mainly this afternoon, early evening, only about a 20% chance. So most of us, we are staying dry today. High temperature is going to continue to rise into the 90s for most. 92 in Charlotte, 92 out towards Monroe. And notice our dew points, they're into the 70s. That's indicating that it's very muggy. It's very humid. It feels sticky outside, but it also makes our air temperatures feel even hotter than they actually are. 98 degrees is what it will feel like around 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then tomorrow morning, we have a very similar weather pattern. A little bit more enjoyable for the first part of the morning, and then it gets hot, feeling like we're right around those mid to upper 90s again. So a few things as we're looking at the rain that you need to know. They will drop the overall opportunity for rain showers, but it's not going to be zero. 20% chance for a pop-up shower or storm today, much of the same for tomorrow. So generally, we think 90% of the viewing area is going to stay dry, 80% for most days. So what that means is that just a small chance of a pop-up shower or storm could lead to all of a sudden just a little rain, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. Keep that in mind. For our futurecast, we're actually starting to pick up on that. Scattered rain showers for some. I mean, look at that. There's 3 o'clock. At this point, I'm seeing much more sunshine than any shower or storm activity, much of the same as we're heading throughout tonight. So if you have Friday night plans, should be pretty nice for most of us. Waking up tomorrow morning for your Saturday, if you want to head out and maybe go for a bike ride, it's going to be really quite beautiful. Another gorgeous start to the day. Temperatures crank up fast. I'd say by 10 o'clock, it's going to already feel like we are well into the 80s. And then here's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, another spotty shower or storm. Not out of the question, but overall, the chances are pretty low for our weekend. Do want to give you an update on the tropics. This is Tropical Storm Erin, the 8 a.m. advisory now. So a new advisory just now coming out, still moving west-northwest at 17 miles an hour, winds at 70. So in order for this to become a hurricane, it needs to have at least 74 mile per hour winds. So that is continuing to strengthen today. It's forecasted to turn into a major hurricane this weekend. That means at least a category 3 or greater. Not just that, but it's forecasted to strengthen even more into a category 4 hurricane by early next week. Now here's the thing, the category 4 hurricane, that could be horrific if it actually made landfall. But still our models are indicating that after it moves west, it continues to move north, bringing impacts anywhere between Bermuda and the United States. So staying out at the sea as it's at its very peak, again, a category 3 and then a category 4. I think we will still have dangerous rip currents this upcoming weekend and especially into next week up and down the East Coast, including the Carolinas. So stay close with us, still seeing changes day to day, and that's just how it's going to go. Otherwise, temperatures just get hot and very muggy conditions this weekend, just feeling like summertime across the Carolinas. All right, Destiny, how are the roads? Any changes?
Well, things are getting a little bit better in terms of congestion across the map, but in Uptown, just want to let you know that crews are fixing a water main break that happened early this morning around overnight hours. It's going to be a 10-hour closure now, according to Charlotte Water. This is West 6th Street between North Tryon Street and Church Street, so a little bit of a slow impact to traffic there, medium impacts around it. They want you to take 7th Street instead, so there will be ways to get around it, but definitely definitely an inconvenience for those headed into Uptown for work or possibly even for festivities later today. So going into another major crash we're following, another major incident. This is a crash though. I-85 north at NC7, and traffic is backed up quite a bit, but this before was a very long red line. Now there's just pockets of red and orange. Things are improving a little bit, so it's possible that this crash has been moved over into the shoulder. It's possibly even cleared, but of course we'll keep an eye on this. It's still showing up on the map though, definitely a big impact. Also traffic moving slowly in Cornelius this morning on I-77 southbound, so if you're headed from Iredell County down into Mecklenburg, just be aware that at times it's going to get very congested. This is a look at our map across the area this morning, and there's just, pockets of congestion on our interstates, but things looking good across the map, most of it. We do still have a traffic light malfunction though that's affecting folks in the Steel Creek area, Westinghouse Boulevard at Steel Creek Road.
Destiny, thanks. 8:22 now. As kids head back to school across the Carolinas, millions of North Carolina students and teachers may no longer see their data in PowerSchool.
A system breach of the student portal leading to big changes statewide. Now the question is, where can parents find that information? WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifies for us.
North Carolina State Board of Education recently greenlit a more than $400,000 deal to transfer and delete data from PowerSchool. Now, this comes after the system was hacked back in December. But what does this mean when it comes to families keeping up with their students' progress? Let's verify.
To answer this, we went to the State Department of Public Instruction and North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson. PowerSchool is a portal teachers, students, and parents use. Attorney General Jackson says the December hack exposed data like social security numbers and addresses for more than 60 million students and teachers across the country.
It's not just a big breach, but it's a breach that was targeted at young people. I think most parents understand that from a law enforcement standpoint, that deserves to be a top priority.
The NCDPI now runs its school info system with Infinite Campus. Officials tell us, quote, there are no North Carolina public schools currently using PowerSchool for their student information system at this time. And that, quote, all schools have transitioned all current student information and operations to Infinite Campus. This means PowerSchool will no longer have copies of North Carolina student or teacher records. For any questions, you're encouraged to contact your school's data manager. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
And as always, if there's something you want us to look into, let us know. Email us at verify@wcnc.com.
A 1,200-acre community in West Charlotte known as the River District just welcomed its first resident. Developers say this is just the beginning for the Crescent Communities project. The goal is to create a self-contained community with a focus on sustainability and transportation. Now, once it's finished, the River District will have more than 4,600 homes, a hotel, a school, and more.
I've seen communities that offer quite a bit, but never what this one is potentially going to grow into.
So the River District will be a place that the general public both comes to, and then people can sort of live in all different stages of life.
The River District will also include commercial and retail space along with an assisted living facility. 8:25 now, we're going to take a quick break, but make sure you keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're going to have another check of weather and traffic coming up in just a couple of minutes, and more of the day's top headlines and breaking news at 8:30.
Well, good Friday morning, everyone. Finally, we are waking up to sunny skies, and boy, do we have a beautiful weekend forecast. Right now, if you're heading out the door, it's pretty comfortable for us, mainly into the 70s, 76 in Charlotte, 72 out there in Hickory. Boone, good morning to you. It's 64 degrees. Notice throughout the afternoon, we'll generally have a nice mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures rise into the lower end of the 90s today, but with that added humidity, it's going to feel like we're well into the upper 90s. We do have small chances for a pop-up shower or thunderstorm today. Only about a 20% chance, so most of us were staying dry. Highs across the area, 92 in Gastonia, 92 in Chester. Out there in Jefferson, not even reaching 80 degrees. There's a look at the weekend forecast. Gorgeous weather each and every day, but feeling very quite hot, especially as we're heading into the next few days. Again, going to feel like we're back into the upper 90s, low 100s, so make sure you are prepared for the heat. All right, Destiny, how are those area roadways? Anything people need to know as they're heading out for their morning commute?
Definitely. We have a water main break repair happening in Uptown. West 6th Street between North Tryon and Church is closed, and it will be for at least 10 hours while crews work on this. You're advised to take 7th Street instead. Definitely be aware of this closure, and then also closures around First Ward Park around 9:30 this morning as setup for Charlotte Pride begins. So definitely, if you're going to Uptown, take heed about that. I-85 northbound, we do still have an accident causing a lot of backups from Gastonia into the Charlotte area, but it's a beautiful day this morning, so that is a good thing. I-77 near Lake Norman as we head back to WCNC Plus.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8:30 on this Friday morning. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Back to school can be stressful, not only for students, but also for parents as well.
This is true. And if your child is leaving home for college or maybe to start a new job, there can be feelings of sadness, loss, and even depression. Reporter Mandy Gaither has some healthy ways to cope with empty nest syndrome.
When the chicks take flight, sometimes the nest can feel a little empty.
It can trigger a wide range of emotions, everything from pride and joy to loneliness and grief.
Psychologist Susan Alberts with Cleveland Clinic says when children go off to college or to a job, it's not the end of your parenting story, but the beginning of a new chapter. Instead of thinking of the nest as empty, consider it expanded.
Your love, care, guidance goes beyond the four walls of your home to their new location.
Albert says to continue staying involved in your child's life without hovering. If your student's heading off to college, follow the school's social media page or read about campus events in the newsletter.
This is going to help you to ask thoughtful questions and stay connected to understanding what's happening in their everyday life.
To cope with sad feelings, Albert says to allow yourself to name what you feel. Noticing your emotions may help you process them. and create a connection ritual, a time each day when you talk to your child or exchange text messages, maybe in between classes or before bed. She says to also focus on gains, not gaps. You may now have time for a new hobby, to learn something new, or volunteer. It's also a good time to reconnect with a partner or friends or do some traveling.
Remember that it is not just about filling your time, but finding things that give you a sense of purpose.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Okay, so here's a list of some other helpful tips. Albert says to set a new routine for yourself. That can be helpful. She also suggests giving your home a fresh start. Maybe you rearrange your room, plant some new flowers, or create a space for a hobby. She says this signals to your brain that life is moving forward in a positive way.
Caleb and Reagan are still young.
Yes.
You think you and Tillman are going to have struggles when this happens?
No.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, I love them dearly. I will miss them so much, but.
Mommy sends her best.
Exactly. Call me if you need me.
Bye.
Lisa's like, see you later.
Bye.
Off to school you go.
I love it.
All right, hey, it's beautiful outside this morning. Finally, we are heading into a really nice summer-like weekend. Sunny skies have returned. Live camera shot coming in from Monroe, much of the same right here in Uptown. It is very muggy today. Temperatures continue to rise into the 90s. At times this weekend, it's going to feel into the upper 90s, even triple digits. And this weekend, we're also keeping a very close eye on Tropical Storm Erin, which is likely going to be the first hurricane of the season today, later on today. We'll get to that. If you're heading out the door, you got places to be, you got things to do, grab those sunglasses. It is gorgeous. Temperatures also feeling really comfortable for now as we're heading into the afternoon, maybe a little hot for some, as those daytime highs today, low 90s. Once you add in the humidity, though, upper 90s is what it will feel like. We do have some small rain and storm chances, only about a 20% chance. You know how that goes. Most of us will not see a single raindrop, but we can't totally rule it out because we could see an isolated downpour at times. As we're looking at our daytime highs today, though, really rising into the 90s. We're even above where we should be for this time of the year. We should be into the upper 80s, but instead, over the next 4 days, temperatures are going to hold steady into the 90s. It's going to be beautiful, though. We'll take that heat and humidity, I suppose, if we at least get some sunshine, and that's going to be the case for us today all the way through the weekend. Let's talk about the humidity, though, because that's another big part of the weather story this weekend. Yes, of course, it's going to be hot, but it's going to be extra humid because of all the rain that we have received. Dew points really spiking up, especially as we're heading into our Saturday. So it's going to feel very sticky, but it's also going to make it feel even hotter than our actual air temperatures. That really starts today. Look at that, feeling like it's we're at 98 degrees in Monroe, Concord, out towards Charlotte. It's just going to feel very uncomfortable for some, especially if you have to be outside in the elements for an extended amount of time. Here's 3 o'clock tomorrow. Another beautiful start to the day, but the heat and humidity again will be the big story here locally. Let's take a look at those rain chances because while the temperatures go up, the rain chances drop, but they will not be zero, so don't be fooled. If you're heading out on the lake this weekend, make sure you keep your eye on the sky because you know how fast those sneaky summertime storms can form. We'll look for low rain chances heading into early next week as well, so now's the time you're going to have to start watering your grass and your gardens again. We're looking at our future cast now. Early this morning, quiet, just sunny and beautiful. By the afternoon, I think a few clouds will start to sneak in here and there, and then models are still picking up about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Some passing showers, an isolated thunderstorm or two, not out of the question. Nothing that we're not used to, though, in the summertime across the Carolinas. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow. If you're waking up, you want to pack up the family, you want to go out on the greenway, it's going to be beautiful, or you want to head to the farmer's market, whatever it is tomorrow morning, I say absolutely do it. If you want to take your dog for a walk, do it early in the day because by the afternoon, it's going to be another very hot summer-like day with another round of possible light scattered rain showers and an isolated thunderstorm or two. Remember, only about a 20% chance, though. Let's give you an update on the tropics. This is Tropical Storm Erin. It is still moving west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. It does have max sustained winds right now at 70 miles an hour. In order for this to go from a tropical storm to a hurricane, we need it to go from 70 miles an hour to 74. so we're not very far away. You can see that structure as that storm continues to turn. It's starting to enter warmer waters as well, so that's going to pick up its strength. It's heading towards areas like the Lesser Antilles, out towards Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. Now here's the thing. This storm is really going to pick up intensity very fast. It's forecasted to turn into a major hurricane this weekend. That means a Category 3 or greater. And then early next week, probably by Monday, it turns into a Category 4 hurricane. Now, the best case scenario, and really what it seems like this will be, is a very strong storm that mainly stays out in the ocean. You can see as it moves west, it then starts to curve to the north and to the east, really not making direct impacts across the United States. Good for us, but we are watching the impacts up and down the coastline of the East Coast, meaning dangerous rip currents, very high waves. So stay close with us. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest, because I do think those impacts will be out there for our beach communities. You can see our 7-day forecast back home, sunny and nice. It's going to feel hot though, back into the mid to upper 90s for what it will actually feel like. And again, small rain and storm chances over the next couple of days. All right, Destiny, what's the latest out on those roads?
Well, we've definitely been dealing with some issues, especially in Uptown this morning. Traffic light malfunctions, water main breaks, you name it. Right now we're focusing though on this water main repair, 10 hours according to Charlotte Water at least for crews to fix it. This is West 6th Street between North Tryon Street and North Church Street, so very close to the center of Uptown. And this morning you just might be facing a lot of the congestion from people trying to get around this closure. Your best bet is to take 7th Street instead. A lot of medium and slow impacts as people try to get around that closure, lasting most of the day. Also happening today, since we're about an hour out now, Friday, that's today at 9:30 a.m., an hour from now. We'll see closures near First Ward Park for Charlotte Pride. That's definitely going to be around the light rail, Caldwell, North Brevard. That starts today, and then tomorrow at 5 a.m. and through the duration of the events this weekend, 7th Street between the light rail and Caldwell Street. Closures on Sunday for the parade itself on Tryon. That starts early around 7 a.m. You can find more information about that in the story on our WCNC Charlotte News app. And then we also have some incidents going on, unfortunately, on I-85 northbound. This is at exit 23, New Hope Road. This has been going on for more than an hour. This just same backup here, but this is expected this time of the morning. Unfortunately, though, this accident is still on the map, so it could be a pretty serious one here. Just plan for all of this, all of these backups to really cause you some issues. We're seeing some congestion there also on I-485 inner on near Matthews, and then also I-77 is starting to look a little bit better this morning, so that's some good news. Drive safely.
All right, keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're back in 2 minutes.
8:41 now, taking a live look over Anchorage, Alaska, where in just hours, President Trump is expected to sit down with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The president plans to push for an end to the war in Ukraine. Missing from today's meeting will be Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. As NBC's Alice Barr explains, officials hope today's meeting could bring all sides to the negotiating table.
They charge tremendous tariffs.
This morning, President Trump heading to Alaska to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin face to face in the hopes of moving a step closer to ending Russia's 3-year all-out assault on Ukraine.
If it's a bad meeting, it'll end very quickly. And if it's a good meeting, we're going to end up getting peace in the pretty near future.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was not invited to Alaska, but President Trump hopes for a swift follow-up, including all parties.
All I want to do is set the table for the next meeting, which should happen shortly.
Zelensky meeting instead this week with European allies, signaling their support and determination to hold the line against further Russian aggression, including prioritizing a ceasefire and security guarantees for Ukraine over any talk of giving up Ukrainian territory.
The president's hope is to achieve some stoppage of fighting so that those conversations can happen.
Secretary of State Rubio among the high-level U.S. officials set to join today's talks following a one-on-one between Presidents Trump and Putin and capped by a press conference, though it's not clear if both presidents will take questions. During a 2018 Helsinki summit, President Trump took criticism for appearing to defer to Putin over questions about Russian meddling in the 2016 election. In recent weeks, he's sharpened his tone as Putin has defied repeated calls to stop the assault on Ukraine.
We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth.
Now voicing optimism that both sides will agree to a long-sought peace. Ahead of today's meeting, Putin praised what he called the U.S.'s energetic and sincere efforts to stop the fighting. Critics are adamant that he not be rewarded for his aggression, some saying that's already happened with this meeting on U.S. soil. The administration rejects that, arguing it's worth the effort to try for peace. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
This week, students and staff in Kerrville, Texas, returned to class a little more than 40 days since devastating floods rocked their community. We're going to take a quick break and have more of that coming up here on WCNC Plus. 8:46 this week, students and staff in Kerrville, Texas returned to class a little more than 40 days since devastating floods rocked their community. Reporter Henry Ramos shows us how the district is helping students and families navigate a new normal.
At Tivy High School, the reminder is all around. Green ribbons to never forget.
We're facing adversity, but our community is very resilient.
Wednesday marked the first day of classes for the 4,600 students who attend Kerrville ISD.
We wanted to show our community things are going to be not back to normal, because there's never going to be that normalcy, but there's going to be a new normal.
Kerrville Superintendent Dr. Brent Ringo says right after the flooding, the school district wanted to figure out how its students and staff were impacted. He says that was important to know before the first day of class. Overall, 70 families were impacted by the flooding.
We knew we had employees who lost homes. We lost our teacher of the year tragically, and his wife and 2 kids. We had employees lose family members.
We knew that it was going to be a heavy return. We knew that we were going to have lots of emotions coming back.
Tivy High School principal Rick Serrala says since the tragedy, staff members have been getting together.
So we just wanted time to just be together, cry together, hug.
Extra counselors were on hand, even therapy dogs, and you can see here free supplies and backpacks line the school hallway.
We know the grieving process is not just one day or a week. I believe this is going to be months to years.
In order to get through the days ahead, the superintendent says they are reminding others to give each other grace, and they're living by the words of the coach and teacher they lost, Reese Unker.
His message to his team always was, "You'll never walk alone." So we have been using that message in his honor.
Henry Ramos with that report. Finding a new normal is something, again, the folks here know all too well after Hurricane Helene. And some good news this morning for some students in Western North Carolina who are now getting the gift of a lifetime. The North Carolina Community Foundation is awarding scholarships to more than 100 students from 24 western counties hit hard by Hurricane Helene. The Disaster Relief and Resilience Scholarship will provide more than $1 million through 2029. Let's check in now with Majestic to find out more about our forecast. It is Friday, people are feeling good, and the sunshine really helps.
Oh, it is so beautiful, Lisa. Well-deserved sunshine. It's been so dreary this week, multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and now not only is it Friday, but we're waking up to a view like this. Absolutely gorgeous. It is going to be a muggy day, though, as temperatures continue to rise into the 90s. Once you add in the humidity, at times it's going to feel like we're back into the triple digits, and we do have our eyes on the tropics this weekend, watching Tropical Storm Erin, which is forecasted to turn into the very first hurricane of the season. Temperatures, if you're heading out the door this morning, are pretty comfortable, mainly into the 60s and 70s. It's 75 degrees in Statesville. It's 76 right here in Charlotte. And over the next several hours, you'll notice still plenty of sunshine that'll stick around. Again, with that added humidity, it's going to feel around 98 degrees around 3 or 4 o'clock. Small rain and storm chances. Keep that in mind. While most of us, we won't see any rain whatsoever, we can't 100% rule it out. Highs today across the area are again above where we should be for this time of the year. Really, we should be into the upper 80s, but over the next 4 days, temperatures will hold steady into the low 90s. Keep this in mind, especially if you're sensitive to the heat, or if you know somebody who's sensitive to the heat, or somebody who just simply doesn't have air conditioning. It is going to be a very hot weekend across the Carolinas. Low 90s with our air temperatures, a nice mix of sun and clouds, and for the most part, we will stay dry. Dew points, this measures how much moisture is in the atmosphere, and when we have 70s, that's indicating you step outside and everyone will feel sticky. It even gets worse by tomorrow, but a lot of that humidity actually aids as some fuel for those pop-up showers or thunderstorms. So that's why we have at least a 20% chance today and tomorrow. It also makes those air temperatures feel a little hotter than they already will be. 98 is what it will feel like, possibly into the triple digits across the Charlotte metro area, not just today, but even into tomorrow. So whether you're heading out to to the lake, maybe heading out to the pool, find a nice way to stay cool and make sure you're staying hydrated as well. Temperatures go up. Overall rain chances remain pretty low over the weekend and into early next week. We shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Here's our satellite and radar. It's gorgeous. A lot of people waking up to sunshine, making us all happy. Now, as we're heading into the later half of the day, models are still picking up on a few stray showers popping up here and there. Not everyone will see them, but again, can't rule it out. So if you have any plans, just be mindful of that, especially if you're going to be out on any bodies of water this weekend. Waking up for our Saturday, a beautiful start to the morning. Lots of sunshine. There's about 7 o'clock. And then again, kind of like clockwork, we'll see a few high clouds mix in and then the possibility of seeing a stray shower or thunderstorm for our Saturday forecast. In addition to that, we're also keeping a very close eye on what is now Tropical Storm Erin. This is the 8 a.m. advisory. We'll have another advisory come out at 11 a.m. We're watching a few things very carefully. Right now, the storm is still moving west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. Sustained winds 70 miles an hour. For it to become a hurricane, that number needs to reach 74. So we're almost there. It's continuing to track to the west, so it's going to head over towards the Lesser Antilles, out towards Puerto Rico, towards the Dominican Republic. But with new information coming out this morning, we now know that this storm is going to continue to intensify. Again, it's forecasted to become a hurricane later today, and then this weekend it's going to turn into a major hurricane. That means a Category 3 or greater. And from there, early next week, Monday into Tuesday, that's when it becomes a Category 4 hurricane. So a very, very, very strong storm, especially for the first hurricane of the season. But you know what? There is a little bit of a silver lining with this. The majority of this storm, at least the eye of it, a lot of our models are indicating that it stays out at sea, not making any direct impacts to the United States. You can see how it really starts to curve northeast between Bermuda and the East Coast. With that being said, we won't have any direct impacts, of course not here in Charlotte, but across our beach communities, we will be keeping a close eye for dangerous rip currents. So not a great weekend to be out at the beach, but especially not early next week. There's that 7-day forecast, lots of sunshine, feeling hot and summer-like. Destiny.
Yeah, it's been a busy morning, but things are getting better across our area. But this is something you'll have to deal with for several hours this morning, and that is a water main repair in Uptown. This is West 6th Street between North Tryon Street and Church Street. So according to Charlotte Water, it's going to be pretty much an all-day repair. Definitely plan to get around this as crews continue to work. And there's a lot of congestion in the area just from people trying to detour around this. So it's been going on since 3 o'clock this morning. No water spilling out into the roadway, but just a lot of work and activity going on. Also with Charlotte Pride and all the other festivities happening in Uptown today, it's going to be busy in Uptown. Definitely take care driving through. And you want to take 7th Street instead to get around this closure. Speaking of Charlotte Pride, be aware that in 30 minutes, there's going to be some closures for setup. 8th Street will close between the light rail and North Caldwell Street, North Brevard between 6th and 9th. This is basically around First Ward Park. There's also closures on Saturday and then through Sunday as well. There's more information on our website. This is a look over Lake Norman this morning. It's nice to see the sun. Thank goodness it is not raining anymore, but drive safely out there.
All right, Destiny, thanks so much. Well, we are going to take a quick break, but there is more to come here on WCNC Plus. We'll have another update of weather and traffic. And then at the top of the hour, our Nick Sturdivant, you see him there. He's going to take over from our new Live Impact studio. He'll have all of the breaking events as they happen from across our area and the nation right here on WCNC Plus.
What a beautiful start to our Friday morning. Finally, we are waking up to nothing but blue skies and a whole lot of sunshine out there. Most of us waking up to a view like that. It's not just pretty, but those temperatures right now, they feel all right. It is going to be a hot weekend, though. Right now, we're into the 70s and 80s. It's already 80 degrees here in Charlotte. Forecasted highs today, mainly rising into the lower end of the 90s. With that added humidity, it's going to make us feel like we're back into the upper 90s with small rain and storm chances as we're heading into the afternoon. Keep that in mind, only about a 20% chance though. This weekend, it is going to feel very, very summer-like. Make sure you're staying hydrated and taking breaks from the heat. Destiny, how are the area roadways on this Friday?
It's a lot better than it was earlier this morning, but keep in mind in Uptown we have water main repairs going on for most of the day. West 6th Street between North Tryon Street and Church Street. Take 7th to get around it. But it's a beautiful day this morning. The interstates are looking a lot better than they were about an hour ago. Just be aware this morning there's still some congestion in areas and lots of traffic light malfunctions that are also getting repaired as well. Have a great day.